Hi everyone and very welcome to another live stream where once a week I come online and answer all your holiday related questions about the Spanish islands. But it's been a while because I've been on holiday, so I haven't been here. I have a lot of questions to answer from questions I've received on my email. If you have a question as well, you can write it there as well at ive@checkedholidays.com and I will answer it in the next live stream. But if you have a short question, you can also always just write that in the chat right here. And you might hear it still a little bit as well. I had this thing we've all been running from for the last 2 years. I recently got it, I tested positive, so you might still hear it a little bit in my voice. And I might have some problems getting through this without coughing, but otherwise we're gonna be fine. So I'm just here to answer all your holiday related questions about the Spanish islands. If you're new here to the channel, my name's Yves. I lived, traveled and worked all over the Spanish islands for the last 20 years. You can find all about that on my website, checkedholidays.com, or here on my YouTube channel where I have more than 250 videos about the Spanish islands, and that's ever growing with more information for you. But for now we're gonna be starting with the first question. I just want to quickly see if we're properly live now. Yes, and then I'm going to go over to the first question I have to answer because I've been on holiday and because I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. I'm a little bit backlogged, I think the word is in English, so there's quite a few questions to answer. So I'm going to start off with the first one. These questions are from actually last month still, so a little bit of catching up to do. This one comes from Marcel. Marcel, do you know the car hiring company Seacar? Is it pretty affordable compared to holiday? It is pretty comfortable. It is pretty affordable compared to holiday autos. Do you have any experience with it? Do you recommend it? Seacar is one of the bigger companies on the Canary Islands. So if you are traveling to the Canary Islands, it could be a good company to use. Normally, I always go through holidayautos.com or I use topcarhire.com, which is a little bit similar to Seacar. They're also specialized and dedicated to the Canary Islands. So Seacar is a good company. I would go and have a look on my website, checkedholidays.com/cars, where you can find all my car rental advice for the Spanish islands. There's a few little things here and there that you should know. And I would say Seacar, yeah, you can rent with them. I always like to spend, I don't know how much it is with Seacar, but it's maximum 10 euros a day to get a fully comprehensive insurance. I would say get the fully comprehensive insurance, then you have nothing to worry about and you will have a generally more relaxed and enjoyable holiday. I don't know which island you are going to, but in Tenerife there are some quite busy places on the island. If you've never been there before, if you're driving a rental car, you might just want to get the fully comprehensive insurance, simply not to have anything to worry about. So saying Seacar, yeah, definitely you can rent with them, no problem. But I always use Top Car Hire or I go to Holiday Autos where you can price compare. If you can't find a good price with Top Car Hire, I would say go and price compare with Holiday Autos. Okay, next question. This question is from Detso. Hi there, been watching a few of your videos. They've been really helpful and saw on one you posted your email if we have any questions. Exactly, this is this email, ive@checkedholidays, that's my name, ive@checkedholidays.com. You can write me there and I answer your questions normally every Monday. It's been a while, normally I do it every Monday, but since I've been sick and since I've been on holiday, I have not been answering these questions for a while. My question is there more shops and restaurants open in March in Alcudia or Can Pastilla? So a lot of people don't, there's more to the question, but I answered this part first. And I'm quickly gonna switch over to Mallorca because Can Pastilla is in Mallorca. Your question being, in March is a little bit pre-season, unless it's Easter holidays, then it's busy on the island as well. But for Mallorca, the temperatures are quite unpredictable. So normally there don't go too many people at this time, unless it's for doing some kind of sports to Mallorca. but your question being Alcudia or Campastilla in March. I would say Alcudia normally is one of the places that stays open pretty much all the year round. But on the other side, there's also Campastilla is really close to Palma itself, where of course everything is open all year round. So this is either, if you want to have everything in the place you're staying, Alcudia could be good, but there's not so much, well, it stays open all year round, but still there's going to be plenty of things closed. If you're staying in Campastilla, normally in Campastilla there's not so much open at that time of year, but you're very close to Palma where everything is open all year round. So this is really up to you, Alcudia or Campastilla. If you want to have it in the resort, a lot of things open, then go to Alcudia. If you want to have something nearby that's open, then Campastilla could be good as well, because also Campastilla is next to Playa del Palma, and Playa del Palma is also one of these places that stay open pretty much all year round, at least to some extent. Not everything is open there. Then the rest of your question. I visited Alcudia in October and Campastilla in February previously. Everything was open in Alcudia, and Campastilla was mostly closed, but enough to get by. We caught the bus into Palma very cheap. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. If you're staying in Campastilla, there's always going to be open things in Palma, which is very close by. You quote here €1.50. Yeah, it could be something like that. Maybe it's €2 or something now. But since prices has gone up for the public transport. But to answer your question, it's really up to you. Either you go to Alcudia, where things are open, but not everything at that time of year, or you go to Campastilla and you have Palma nearby. Where would you advise going in March? I would say maybe Alcudia. Alcudia is still going to have some holiday vibes around March, especially if you're going in the Easter holidays. Campastilla is going to have less of this, but there's also options nearby. I hope that helped you out. If you have any questions, no, you can just write them in the chat as well. And I will answer them later. So let's do one more question. Let's see, where's this question? This is another question about Mallorca. Hello, Eve. First of all, congratulations on your digital work with the blog and YouTube channel with lots of great tips and helpful information. Well, you're welcome. It's what I enjoy doing. I started as a hobby, but now this is basically what I do full time. So I really enjoy it. How much better could it be that something that you enjoy doing, you can do professionally full time? So my name is Nuno. I'm not going to say your last name for privacy reasons, but your name is Nuno. I'm Portuguese living nearby Lisbon. Regarding Mallorca, do you have an opinion about the hotel Port Blue Club Poyentia Resort and Spa? This hotel is between Alcudia and Poyentia, and I found a good price for my vacations next August. Seems to be a good choice. The fact that there's no beach near the hotel, it's not a problem for us. We are looking for a nice hotel, nice pools, and half-board option. I expect to be in Mallorca from the 31st of the 31st/7, that's July, until 9/08, so 9th of August, with my wife and our 12-year-old kid. We will rent a car to drive around the island and visit everything: beaches, city, mountains. Looks like a very nice holiday. Happy you will be exploring a little bit of the island, since a lot of people don't. It's really up to what you enjoy doing, but it's nice you're going to explore a little bit of the island. Unfortunately, we can only go on vacations on August. Can you help us also with water activities? Do you know where can we find a good half-day program with small boats riding and swimming in the coast of Mallorca? Small boats riding, okay. Sorry for the big text. Thank you for help and wish you all the best. Stay safe. Thanks, Bruno. Okay, so quickly recapping your question. You're going to the Port Blue Club Poyentia Resort and Spa. I quickly want to Google that one because you say it's not next to a beach. But I think it is. So this is why I'm a little bit confused. Port Blue Club Poyentia. Port Blue, Club Poyencia. Let's have a quick move this out of the way. The problem is when I'm live streaming, my computer is getting so slow. Port Blue, Club Poyentia. So it takes me quite a bit to open this. This most likely, this is kind of next to a beach though. It's maybe not the nicest beach, but there is some beach in front of it, even though it's more like dunes and water. It's quite okay a hotel, especially if you're going to be renting a car. You're in a nice quiet area. The road there can get a little bit busy though, but the hotel is located kind of like towards the back, all the pools and stuff, so you're not going to have any problems with the road. It's okay. It's close to a lot of nice, if you want, like you mentioned, you want to explore. There's a lot of things nearby. There's a Poyensa nearby, the old town, the monastery, there's the old town of Alcudia, there's loads of things to see. And with the regards that you head to the rental of boats, you can actually rent small boats in the either Alcudia or Puerto Poyensa harbor, where there is you can rent these little boats and you can just go by yourself if that is what you're referring to. So, and as with regards to the hotel, yeah, it's a okay hotel. From my experience, I've been there once. It's, if you're not bothered by the location because you're renting a car, then it's fine. If you're not renting a car, I would not advise that hotel. But yeah, it's generally it's fine. The only thing I would say, and I'm not gonna say this is happening this year or it hasn't been resolved yet, you're kind of near the Poyentia swamp. I don't know if that's the right English word, but there's some stagnant waters nearby, and there can be a little bit of mosquitoes, and sometimes there can be a little bit of a smell. It's not every year, but I know these kind of places on Mallorca to have this sometimes. So that's the information I think you should have. Then for the boat rental, yeah, you can find them nearby. Okay, I hope I answered your question correctly with that. Let's have a quick look at the chat. I saw some questions coming in there. This is from Elisa. Hello, I have a quick question. Is it still warm enough to go to the beach at the end of October in Tenerife, Lanzarote? Yeah, should be no problem. Let me just switch over to some Lanzarote footage for you here. Lanzarote is good all year round, and October normally is still quite good. October is one of the first periods. You can get a little bit of rain on the island, but for both Tenerife and Lanzarote is going to be very, very little, especially if you're staying in the south of the island. If you are going in October, it's not really worth mentioning, I think, but like the north side of Tenerife gets a little bit more rain. Since October is normally the month it starts, you can get a little bit more rain on the north side of Tenerife. So maybe if you really want to go for the beach weather, stay away from there, from the north, and go to the south instead, where most of the touristy resorts are. So I hope that helps you out. The Balearic Islands, which are basically Ibiza, Mallorca, excuse me, Ibiza, Mallorca, and Menorca, and then Formentera, but Formentera, there don't go so many people. These islands are not really advisable after half of October, but the Canary Islands, which are all the other islands like Tenerife, Gran Canaria, Fuerteventura, Lanzarote, Las Palmas, all of these, they stay warm all year round, so you really don't have to too much to worry about if you go to any of those islands. I hope that helped you out. Okay, then another question. Let me just switch over to Tenerife here, because this one is going to go for Tenerife, I think. From Laney. Hi, for nice warm weather the last week of September, would you suggest Palma Nova or Tenerife, please? Thanks very much. You can go for both. but for the last week of September is pushing it a little bit. If it doesn't matter to you to be more safe that you have good weather, I would say Tenerife. Palma Nova normally should be fine, but there is more chance you get unlucky with the weather than compared to Tenerife, where normally the weather is better all year round, as I mentioned before. But September normally is still technically part of the high season for Mallorca as well, where Palma Nova is located, and the weather normally is fine. But yeah, if you want to be safe, the safest option for you is to go to Tenerife. Okay, Elisa, thank you for answering. That's good to hear. Okay, you're very welcome. If you have any further questions, anyone who's following this live stream, you can just write them in the chat. If you're watching this after the chat, you can always write me at IVE, that's my name, Ive, at checkedholidays.com. Should be a link in the description of this video as well. And it's actually also on the screen right there. Right there, you can see my email address. Let's go back to answering some more questions here. Okay, this one is going for a Mallorca question. Mallorca question. What is the Mallorca question? This one is coming from Tian. Good evening, my name is Tian Henderson. I have recently watched your video about Magaluf on YouTube. Could you kindly give me a few tips or hotels which would fit us the best? We are 3 young people traveling from Bonn, Germany. We are looking for a 2-room stay with maybe a half board or all inclusive depending on the price. We have a travel window from the 11th of July till the 17th of July. So yeah, that's the party high season for Mallorca. So you're going in a really good time. We have a budget of plus minus €1,000 per person, spending money included. And you're going for how long? For 6-7 days. Okay. First of all, you're from Germany. I don't like to put people in boxes, but normally German people, when they like to go party, they either go to El Arenal or to Playa de Palma. I just want to say this. Of course, you're more than welcome to go to Magaluf. There's German people there as well. But in general, most German people who come and party either go to El Arenal or Playa de Palma in Mallorca. So just a little something to keep in mind. As for your question, where you should stay for this budget, you really should have a look on booking.com or some kind of website to see what fits your budget. There's a lot of good hotels there. If you can find a Sol hotel, there's a lot of good Sol hotels. There's Afiro hotels, they're very good. There's some Globalis hotels, most of them are good as well. There's lots of options. The only thing I would say is if you book your hotel, most of the hotels are close to the nightlife, but some are quite a little bit, there's like a big hill in Magaluf, and it's really not pleasant if you've been out partying all night. You need to climb that big hill. So look a little bit on Google Maps when you find a hotel and make sure it's not on that big hill, because it's quite a steep climb. It's a couple of, I don't know how high it could be, but maybe like 100, 200 meters climbing or something, maybe a little bit more even. It's very steep, especially at 4 o'clock in the morning when you had a little bit too much to drink. You don't want to be in that area. So Tian, I hope that helped you out. If you have any further questions, just please write them in the chat. Next question is coming from Daniel. Hi and good evening to you. I hope you are well. We have booked into Villa Mandi Hotel for a couple's holiday. Do you have any tips and recommendations on things to do and places for meals? Many thanks. I need to Google this hotel quickly. There's so many hotels on the Spanish Islands, and even though I've been to about 500-600 of them, I don't know all of them. and especially if you don't really mention where they are located, that makes it even harder. Which island they are all? Villa Mendi. Is it this one? Okay, so this one is in Los Cristianos. So we're going to Tenerife. I hope it's the one in Los Cristianos you're talking about. So let me see, what is your question about it? Do you have any recommendations on things to do and places for meals? Many thanks. Okay, since you're in Los Cristianos, is in the south, is the more touristy area. You don't tell me much about yourself, but there's loads of things to do nearby. First of all, CM Park is just maybe like 2 kilometers away. You really have to go there. They claim to be the best water park on the world. I haven't been to so many water parks, but all of them in Spain I've been to. This definitely is the better one. So you definitely want to go there. Then you also have the party nightlife nearby in Playa de las Americas. There's lots of excursions. You can go whale watching, dolphin watching, snorkeling. There's surfing classes you can do nearby there. There's lots and lots and lots of things to do. So you're really in an active area. So for things to do, excuse me. For things to do is definitely a good place there. For meals, there is a lot of nice places in Los Cristianos to eat. But if you walk a little bit further into the direction of Playa de las Americas, there you have basically like these giant outdoor shopping centers where you have like loads of different choice. They're all like very new restaurants, lots of different choice from different types of cuisine. There's like Indian, Thai, steakhouses, Italian, everything basically you can wish for. So you have loads of choice from good restaurants there. So definitely there's lots in the resort of Los Cristianos, nice places to eat, but they're kind of like the more mom and pop places, I would say. They're like smaller, compact, friendly. And then the other ones are more like the big upscale. You have a lot of choice. Everything is very fancy, very new. The prices is also more. This is in Playa de las Americas. But lots of variety if you're going for a long time. Did you have any other questions? The Villa Mandi Hotel, yeah, it's fine. The Villa Mandi Hotel, it's been quite a while since I've been there. I think it's been 4 or 5 years, so I don't really know how it is now. The only thing I would say is quite also a little bit uphill located. So if you like to go to the beach, maybe not. If you like to go to the beach like a lot of times during the day, maybe not the best option. If you like to stay in the hotel, it's fine. You're close to a lot of things there. So yeah, in general, excuse me, in general, it's fine to stay there. Okay, moving on. Lainey, brilliant, thank you. Well, you're very welcome. Okay, a lot of questions still to go through. Next question. Hi, just watched your YouTube video about Costa Adeje. Just wondering if you have a video or tips for the best Jacaranda hotel. No, don't have any videos from that hotel. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Haven't been to the hotel. That's all I can say. It's quite centrally located. You're near to everything. But I have not been to that specific hotel. I hope to visit it next time when I'm in Tenerife. Otherwise, yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I know people who go there year after year after year. So I suppose it's a good hotel. Okay, for the next thing, we're going to Mallorca. Okay, Mallorca. Let's have a little quick listen to this question. Hi, my name is Lorena and I will go to Mallorca in August. How do I read these dates? From the 1st till the 12th. I saw your video and now I need your help. It's my first time in Mallorca. We can only go in August because of the work from my fiancé. The person you're gonna marry, I think that's the thing. I know there are many people there and it's hot. Yes, August is the busiest time on Mallorca. Definitely gonna be crowded. I also have a little baby will be 1 year old. I also have a little bit of scary if it is too hot for the baby and which beach is best. The thing I can say, like from the times I lived in Mallorca, we worked an entire season, so there was not really any holiday time. But in August, there were quite a few times I really hoped of going on holiday to somewhere else, because it can be so humid and so warm in August. A lot of people love it, but it's not really for me. So if you're worried about the small baby, the small baby is around that time, but watch out a little bit with them, because it can get really hot. And then for the beach, I looked a little bit and I saw the beach Muro or Alcudia, and read a good beach for families. Yeah, both of these are very family-friendly destinations. Muro is a bit more quiet normally, and Alcudia is a little bit more mass tourism. Do you think the Hotel Condesa in Alcudia is a good option for us? Is the beach okay also for the baby? Yeah, the Condesa is quite nice. It's right next to the beach. It's all inclusive. There's like a little kids pool there. Yeah, for the baby, it's quite nice. It's very family friendly. There's like loads of entertainment. And the Condesa is kind of located a little bit in between Alcudia and Playa de Muro. So if you like to go out eating and stuff a lot, it's maybe not ideal. But if you like to stay in the hotel a lot, then it's a good option. Excuse me. Are there also restaurants and the city where we can do shopping? Yeah, Playa de Muro, in your case, if you're staying in the Condesa, is the nearest by. It's not extremely far to walk, but it's a little bit of a walk. So yeah, just to keep that in mind to get to most of the shops and stuff. But nothing that cannot be overcome. So do the umbrellas and seats at the beach cost? Yes, normally they go by the set, and somewhere between 10 and 15 euros for a set for the day. Sorry for so many questions, but I need your help. You were there and have experiences. Indeed, I lived and worked and traveled there for the last 20 years. So Lorena, I hope I answered your questions with that. If you have any further questions, like I always say, just write them in the chat and I'll answer them. Excuse me. I'm still not fully recovered from being sick, clearly. But I wanted to do this now because I know people are waiting for the answers. And there's simply so many emails coming into. If I don't do it now, I never get caught up. Plus, I'm technically in quarantine, so I can't go outside anyway. So, okay, Mallorca in April from Datka. Hi Yves, I would like to ask you for an advice. Me, my partner, and 12-year-old boy will travel on Easter to Mallorca. This Easter? Then I think we missed that already. I can't decide which part of Mallorca in April is best to stay. I'm looking for the hotel with indoor pool, and I found some in Alcudia, Playa de Muro, and also in Calamayor, Sacoma. We will rent a car for travel around. Also would like to rent a bicycle, so we are active people, but we also like just walk around the place. Where would you stay with 12-year-old boy? Thank you very much in advance for your help. Well, first of all, I don't really have a 12-year-old boy, so I'm not really 100% sure what they are into. But if I have to choose, if you're active people, you like to do things, then all those places you have mentioned are good. Alcudia, Playa de Muro, Calamayor, Sacoma. If you're renting a car, definitely. There might be a point to make to go to Alcudia instead, because there's generally more to do a little bit in that area. Then the other area you mentioned, which is Calamion and Sacoma. Plus the road connections are also easier from Alcudia to go and do things than to go from Sacoma or Calamior, which is basically the other side of the island. And since you are going in Mallorca in April, also Alcudia is going to have more things open. Playa de Muro I would not go to because there it can still be quite closed. Like a lot of restaurants are going to be still shut if you go in April. Excuse me. So I hope that answered your question. Where would you stay with a 12-year-old boy? Yeah, there's also a point to be made. Maybe to stay somewhere closer to Palma, because if you really like to explore and do a lot of things, I'm not sure how long you're going to be on the island, but from Palma it's really easy to get everywhere. And Alcudia also, but Playa de Muro I would avoid because it's going to feel quite closed. And Sacoma and Calamior are quite far away on the other side of the island. It's hard to explore the island from there. So Alcudia, I would say, or somewhere closer to Palma. Hi, can you give me a review of the Blue Sea Puerto Resort in Piotra de la Cruz? That must be Puerto de la Cruz, no? Blue Sea Puerto Resort. I'm going to Google that quickly to make sure I have the right one. Blue Sea Puerto Resort. The Blue Sea, they've been doing a lot of hotels recently. They kind of like buy up older hotels normally. This is kind of like their business, and then they fix them up. Sometimes the rooms are lacking a little bit, but like all the communal areas are done very nicely, and normally you can find some really nice budget deals there. So I quickly want to have a look here. Yeah, this is in, let me see what your question was. This is in Puerto de la Cruz. So this is in the north of Tenerife. Important, if you book your own flights, fly to the north airport, not to the south airport. A lot of people don't know this. Tenerife has two different airports. It's much easier if you fly to the north airport if you're going to this hotel, because the south airport is about 100 kilometers or like an hour and 20 minutes on a bus. So you don't want to do this. As I said, this specific hotel, I think I've been to it, but I was in this hotel before it became Blue Sea. So they must have like fixed it up and updated it. One thing, if you're beach people, this might not be ideal, because Puerto de la Cruz basically has two levels. There's the level that's on beach level, and then you have like this higher up level on plateau, maybe like 150 meters above sea level, and the Blue Sea Hotel is on that higher level. So if you like to go a lot to the beach, it might not be ideal, because you always have to walk up and down like a lot of stairs. But if you like to stay in the hotel a lot, there's lots of bars and stuff up there. There's lots of things to, it's like this separate little community. And of course you can go down, but depending a little bit on how mobile you are, it can be a little bit difficult. But if you're like young and active, no, then it's no problem. Then you can stay there. In general, I would say, yeah, Blue Sea, my experience with these hotels has been great in general. This is in Tenerife. My experience has been quite good with these hotels. Don't expect too much. It's most of the time, it's older hotels that they've been fixing up to make them feel kind of like fresh and new, but it's not like hyper modern or something. Okay, let's do another question here. Hi, I'm looking at booking the Globales Panama in Palma Nova. Would you recommend it? Any feedback appreciated? Many thanks. This hotel, I actually know where it is. It's in, right next to the Zafiro Palace Hotel. Globalus Panama has been there quite a long time. This is why I know where it is. It's in... it's kind of like in a little bit of a side street. You're very close to a nice beach there. There's loads of these like family pub, karaoke, nightlife, but kind of like softer nightlife than Magaluf. So it's good for families, and if you like to party but don't like to be like overwhelmed by it like you have in Magaluf. The hotel itself also is quite, yeah, it's average but fine. It's depending on what price you get, you're gonna have a nice holiday there. Kind of right in the center of Palma Nova, so close to everything. Nice beach nearby. Hotel is yeah, last time I was there, above average, I would say. This is how I would describe it. Okay, next question is from Angola. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hi there. Saw your video. Let me quickly switch to Tenerife. Oh, I am still in Tenerife. I hope I'm gonna make it through this because my illness hasn't quite improved as good as I thought it was gonna be. Okay, hi there. Saw your video on Costa Deja Tenerife tips on YouTube, where you mentioned we could reach out to you for hotel questions. Indeed, you can just write me to ive@checkedholidays.com and I'm happy to answer all your questions. I was wondering what your thoughts were on the H10 Atlantic Sunset Hotel and the Hard Rock Hotel Tenerife. Thinking of coming, but was hoping to get a second opinion on these. The H10 Atlantic Sunset, I'm not sure which. I think this is the H10 in Playa Paraíso, no? But I just want to make sure it's the right one because there's quite a lot of H10 Atlantic Sunset, Avenida Deje. I think it's in Playa Paraíso together with. Yes, it's that one. No, it's not that one. Just give me a second. Yeah, that's in the Playa Paraíso. So both of these hotels you're asking about are in the Playa Paraíso. Which one is the better one? It depends a little bit. You don't mention a lot about yourself. If you're going with a family, I would say the H10 Atlantic Sunset. There's more swimming pools, more family entertainment, this kind of stuff. The Hard Rock Hotel Tenerife, I still kind of laugh about this, but like the first time I was there, I was sitting in a bar across the street, and you see all the balconies from the Hard Rock Hotel, and I seriously never saw so many people taking selfies of themselves for such a long time. I've never seen a hotel where there's so much selfies being taken and posts and Instagrams, and it kind of drove me a little bit crazy. But the hotel itself is very nice. It's not like you think Hard Rock, you think it's like it's a family friendly kind of Hard Rock. But the first impression of the people I got there, the people who were staying there, I wouldn't want to stay there. I'm sorry. The amount of self-obsessedness, if that is a word, it was kind of crazy to me. But the hotel is really nice. There's a nice beach club. You can have a really good holiday, but if you get annoyed at people taking selfies all the time, yeah, then this is not the hotel for you. Definitely not. The hotel, I'm gonna say it again, is very nice. If you're going with a family, especially with younger children, I wouldn't stay there. I would take the H10 instead. It's set on a bigger area. It's more family friendly, more entertainment, all this kind of stuff. But quickly, I want to mention that a lot of people think that these hotels are in the Costa Deje. They are technically in the Costa Deje, but actually they are in an area called Playa Paraíso. which is part of the Costa Adeje, but they are separated by like I don't know, 5 kilometers of nothingness, basically. So you are a little bit isolated there. There's some really nice, small, cozy beaches, but there's very little restaurants or bars or like night. Well, the beach club has a lot of nightlife, but otherwise there's very little there. There's just a couple of hotels separated from all the rest. I hope that answered your question. Angola, sorry about going about the selfie rant, but I remember sitting there and I think on every fifth balcony, and there must have been like 200 balconies in my site, on every fifth balcony there was a person taking a selfie of themselves, and again and again and again and again, to taking the perfect one, and it made me go a little bit mental. Okay, another question from Kojo. Just got back from Cala Galdana. Quiet but really nice. Why can I not remember where Cala Galdana is? Cala Galdana? That is Menorca, no? Yeah, Cala Galdana, Menorca. But you went really early in the season. Normally in Cala Galdana, things really start to pick up if you want to do the beach holiday, like somewhere half of May. But you, of course, can go there all year round. But most people go there from half of May. This is when it gets busy. But Kojo, I still hope you had a nice holiday there and that you enjoyed it. Okay, another question. This one comes from Lennon. Hey man, hope you are good. I came across one of your videos about Gran Canaria. Me and my partner are looking for a luxury stay and came across Salobre Hotel. Salobre Hotel Resort. What do you think? We also want to experience a hike and the desert in the area. I think you're referring to the Maspaloma Beach, which is basically like sand dunes kind of desert. Can I have your opinion? Salobre Hotel, I think it's the one there near the golf course, no? Salobre Hotel. I think it is. Let me just Google it quickly. Yeah, it's a really nice, fancy hotel, but it's kind of away from all the other tourism. It's near the golf course, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just load it. Yeah, it's kind of in the back of the resort, so if you like to go to the beach, this is not really the place for you. If you like to have a really fancy, upscale, nice experience, definitely I can advise this hotel. Really classy and good. Definitely one of the hotels I can advise. Let me just quickly switch over here to Gran Canaria. So, excuse me. Definitely, if you want to go for a nice class luxury holiday, it's a good place to be. You say you want to go to the desert. I think you're talking about Maspaloma Dunes. It's a short walk. Short distance away, so definitely you're gonna be able to experience that during your holiday. So, thought I was getting better and not quite there yet, clearly. Okay, next question. For the next question, we're going back to Tenerife. This one comes from Sam. Hi, just watched your YouTube video from 3 years ago on Playa de las Americas. I was wondering if you could give your second opinion on the Gran Oasis Hotel. We are young adults with no kids looking for a party holiday. Playa de las Americas sounds great place for you then. We will look to eat out in other restaurants most days and aren't that fussed of the quality of the hotel's food. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, Playa de las Americas is a great place to eat out. Lots of great fancy new restaurants. As for your hotel, I'm quite sure I know which one it is, but I just want to make sure. Let me just quickly load this. Yeah, it's also one of these hotels a little bit on the back of the resort of Playa de las Americas. So it's a little bit like uphill. You see young people who want to party and stuff, so I don't think this is really bothersome for you. It's next to the highway. You might get a little bit of a noise there from the cars driving up and down. But in the evening, of course, this stops also. Excuse me. Otherwise, the hotel is fine. Nice, fresh, clean. Last time I was there, I think it was, you said 3 years ago, it was 3 years ago. I can advise this place. So if you find a good deal, definitely a place you can go. Also, we are booked for the 12th of September till the 22nd of September. Also, would you have any information on COVID restrictions in this area, and what are the projected to be like in September? I have no idea. I thought we were over this whole thing and that we were moving on. But this projection you asked me to do is about 4 or 5 months from now. I cannot predict this. I recently got this thing, and as you can hear, I'm still struggling with it. So it's still there. Let's hope it doesn't come back. Let's hope we can all act like normal, and that it kind of stays on the low level, and that these restrictions don't come back. In general, in Europe, since March, we've decided you can freely travel in between all the countries again. From the European Union. You don't need to do these travel forms and things anymore. These travel forms also for Spain have been cancelled now. If you have a travel certificate, a vaccination certificate, so there's less restrictions. How it's going to be in basically 5 months from now, I cannot say. But let's hope things stay normal. Another follow-up question. Final email, sorry. Is there any clothes shopping districts nearby with sports brands like Nike, etc.? Also, we are from Ireland. What are food and drink prices like in comparison? Last thing is, I'm not going to read that. With that question you wrote, I don't have any information about that. Are there any shops, cafes, sellers in Playa de las Americas for the stuff you asked me? I'm not sure. I have no information about that. So for clothes, there's lots of new shopping centers nearby in Playa de las Americas. You can buy plenty of clothes there, all kinds of brands and stuff. For food and drinks, what are the prices? I'm not sure how it is in Ireland, but prices are, they're not cheap because it's a holiday destination. But I think like a very good point of reference, like a coffee normally is €3.5 for a coffee. That's like something you can pair. I don't know how it is in Ireland, but €3.5. While you go to the other side of Tenerife, where there's no tourism, there you can have a very nice coffee for like 90 cents to €1.5. So it is very, especially Playa de las Americas, it's very touristy prices. So I hope to have answered all your questions with that. Then another question about Tenerife from Thomas. No, that's not a question. That's a collaboration thing. Another question from... Let's read this one because I don't know what it It's combined. Hi Eve, my name is Ivaras. Just seen your website and YouTube channel, very interesting and informative. Thanks for the content. Was wondering, could you help any further? Myself and girlfriend are coming for a holiday to Mallorca in the 12th of June for 14 nights. And looking to rent a car, is there any hope of me finding a cheaper deal than 900 euros for a rental car of any car? For 14 nights, 900 euros in June? I doubt it. It could be. Go to my website, checkedholidays.com/cars. There you might find some links to companies that are a little bit cheaper, but that pricing seems about right from everything I know. But go to if you want to rent a car, there's some things you want to watch out for. There's some less than reputable companies. There's some companies that try to do a lot of upselling. You want to travel well informed, go to my website, checkedholidays.com/cars, and there you can find links to a lot of companies I like to rent cars with, but also some tips and tricks to save you money. So I hope that helps you out. Please advise if you would know any local agencies I could contact. No, I would say go to my website instead. We are staying north of the island, 12th to 26th of June. One company I might want to advise you with, but I think their prices is going to be quite similar. Van Rij. They have really good service, I think, at the airport. It's a little bit dodgy feeling, but I've used them a lot of times because they don't have an office. They basically like stand in the car park, but they have really good service. I've used them many times. They have fair prices. The only thing I would say, always use the SCDW, the what is it, super damage collision warning. The fully comprehensive insurance. Make sure you have that one when you're renting a car. It's a couple of euros more, I know, but you have nothing to worry about. And it's your holiday, you should have nothing to worry about, There can happen things, you don't want to have to deal with them when renting a car. Just get the fully comprehensive insurance, okay? Okay, next one. So that one was about Mallorca. Next one is also about Mallorca. I forgot to switch over. There we go. Okay, one more question about Mallorca. This one is from Lexi. Hi there, my boyfriend and I came across your YouTube video about Peguera while we are planning our trip to Mallorca. We were looking into staying at Port d'Andratx on the southwestern side originally. We are going to be there for 5 nights. We are having dilemma about what part of the island to stay at. A lot of people recommend Port d'Andratx, but we are having a hard time finding a hotel with a beach pool. We temporarily booked the Monport, but also came across the H10 in Peguera. We are not looking for crazy nightlife, but would appreciate good food and cocktails. Ideally, we like the beach and the pool, and somewhere we can walk places. We are not traveling on a tight budget. So for Andratx, there's not really a beach there. So if the Port d'Andratx is nice, it's really nice upscale dining and food, but I would say go there maybe an evening or something and experience it, or maybe go to the fish market in the daytime. But I wouldn't want to book a full holiday there. If you are beach people, like you mentioned here, then Peguera is much nicer. It's close to Port d'Andratx as well. So I would say, excuse me, go to Peguera. The H10 there is a nice hotel. H10 Peguera, I think is the one near the front. I just want to quickly check that one for you. H10 Peguera. Let's wait a second for that to load so I know exactly which one hotel you're talking about. Are you sure you're not talking about the H10 in Santa Ponsa instead? A lot of people, they get kind of mixed up between Peguera and Santa Ponsa, because I don't think there's a H10 Peguera, at least not what I know of. H10 Peguera, I think it's the one in Santa Ponsa you mean. It's near the beach, nice hotel, recently done up, recently refreshed, great location, a lot of hotels and restaurants nearby, bars, close to the beach. If you're talking about the H10 in Santa Ponsa, that one is a great one. I don't know about the H10 in Peguera, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's one there now. But I would not stay in Andratx, simply because of the fact that that Andratx, there's no beach, and you say you like to be a lot on the beach. Okay. Next question is about, let me quickly switch over here to Tenerife. Next question is about Tenerife. Hi, we are going to, this one comes from Steph. Hi, we are going in August to Tenerife, Paradise Park Hotel in Los Cristianos. We would like your review. Paradise Park, I know very well. It's also a little bit set in the back, so if you like to walk in and out of your hotel to the beach, this is not the ideal place to be. But if you just like a nice hotel, this one has been recently, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, freshened up, made very family friendly. It's an older hotel to start off with, but they like made it very modern and fresh. It's a nice hotel. If you're looking for something family friendly, Steph, definitely a place you could go to. I hope that helps you out. Then there's another question from Luke. This one again is about Mallorca, so let's switch over to Mallorca quickly. Hello, Luke. Hello, no. Hello, Luke here. We are traveling to Mallorca in early May and wondering, would you have any idea? Just let me adapt this here for a second. Yeah. Would you have any ideas and things to do when you get there? We are staying in Globales Verdemar and was wondering, would you recommend it as a safe place to stay? A safe place to stay? That's a very specific question. Let's have a look at the Globales Verdemar and what is so dodgy about it. Globales Verdemar. A safe place to stay? That's a very specific question. Where is this hotel? This is in Santa Ponsa. Yeah, this is on the cliffside. There's lots of nice modern new hotels nearby there. Definitely a good place to stay, I think. Yeah, we were talking about Santa Ponsa before. You have like these little, the beaches within walking distance, so you can go there, but right outside the hotel you have like these little swimming platforms. It's really nice to go snorkeling because there's no sand there, you know, it's just like a, what's it called, concrete, and it's very clear water. So the hotel itself is fine as well. All of those hotels there on that strip basically are either new or modern or refreshed or very nice, and you got amazing sunsets there in the evening as well. So definitely a place I can advise. Did you have any more specific questions about that? I'm sorry, I'm still quite sick. It's been a hard time recovering. Globales was wondering, for things to do, go to my website checkedholidays.com, click on Mallorca and then click on things to do. There's a full list. I don't know enough about you to advise specific things. There's a full list there of things to do on Mallorca and not to do, things to see and not to see. So very independent, open list on what I would advise you to do and not to do. Hi, this is Stephanie, part of the social media. No, that's just commercials as well. Sponsorship, okay. The Magaluf question from Darcy. Hi, hope you are well. I came across your YouTube video from a few years ago where you talking about Magaluf tips. It was very useful, so thank you for the advice. I am just emailing to ask if you know any hotels that would let you stay there if you are 17. My four friends and I are all 17 and are going in mid-July and are having trouble finding a hotel, not too expensive, that would allow us to stay without an adult. That's actually a very good question. I'm not 100% sure how that would work. If you could get back to me with any hotels that you would recommend, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Darcy. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry. 17 years old. I remember when I was working there, we had like a couple of groups of people who were under 18 who were staying in the hotel by themselves. So it must be possible. But I'm now talking about 15 years ago, so maybe the laws have changed. I'm sorry, this is actually a question I don't have the answer to. I cannot really help you with. I'm not sure if this is legal, if this is illegal. All I would say is if you're 17, if you're going to Magaluf, be careful. It's a strange place. Yeah, this is all the advice I would give. It can get a little bit crazy. It's not always the safest place. A lot of people like it, they enjoy it, but can be a bit special. If you're 17, stay together. Don't get separated if you're going there, I would say. Okay. I hope to have helped you. I'm not sure how that would be in your specific situation. Okay, another question about Tenerife, Puerto de la Cruz. We are booked for 10 nights in August 22nd, staying at the Blue Sea Costa Jardin and Spa. Another Blue Sea. Is that the same one we saw before? All inclusive. Is this a good hotel? And what else is around that area? Example, bars and fun things to do for kids. I'm quickly going to look at Blue Sea Costa Jardin. Did you say that? Blue Sea Costa Jardin. Jardin Spa. That's the one. Is that the one I was talking about before as well, or is that another Blue Sea up there? Let's have a quick look here. Now, this seems to be another Blue Sea. Just waiting for it to load. These Blue Sea, they're popping up everywhere. They're coming more and more every year. I stayed in a couple of them. I enjoyed it. It was just very budget friendly, I would say. That's kind of like their main selling point. The people were friendly, staff were friendly in all the Blue Seas. Very helpful. The pools are clean, the restaurants are clean. It's all nice and new and modern. The only thing from my experience, and I'm not saying that this is the case in this hotel, the Blue Sea Hotel, some of the rooms are a little bit like, yeah, this is getting a little bit old, you know. Blue Sea Costa Jardin and Spa, I found it here. Not a specific hotel I'm familiar with, but it's located in Puerto de la Cruz, kind of in the back of the resort, but really, really quite far in the back of the resort. But you're doing all-inclusive, so it might not matter necessarily to you. All I would say is about like 1 kilometer walking to the beach, and it's a little bit up and downhill. So if you're doing all-inclusive, most likely it doesn't matter to you. And yeah, what was your question about it? See, is this a good hotel? And what else is around that area? It's not so much around that area, because you're quite in the back of the resort. It takes a little bit of a walk before you come to civilization, if we can call it like this. So that's all I would say, Lee. Keep that in mind. It's quite far away from everything. Okay, there's another question here. let's see. What's the weather like in May? From Roger. You're not saying where. In Tenerife. The weather in Tenerife is great all year round. In May also. So definitely if you want to go for a beach holiday, May is a great month. I think it's actually one of the first months it almost never rains on Tenerife, but I think May is the first real month of the season where you're 100% guaranteed basically that there's not going to be any rain. In April there can still be like a little bit of a drizzle or something, but generally it's also nothing really to worry about. This is all I would say. Weather normally is good all year round in Tenerife, in May especially as well. Another question from Lainey. Sorry, I have to go now. Eve, great live, really informative. Thank you. Well, yeah, it's fine. Everyone is allowed to come and go as they wish. If you have any further questions, I barely made it to the ending of this live stream. I'm still a little bit suffering from the being sick. So if you have any further questions and I did not answer your specific question, you can write that to this email address down there. That's ive@checkedholidays.com. Or you can go to my website, checkedholidays.com, and there you can find all your holiday advice about all the Spanish islands. And this is now currently available not only in English, but also in German, in French, in Dutch, in Italian, in Spanish. And I don't think I skipped any language if I said German. So you can find all my holiday advice there. It's completely independently written. So I write about the good and the bad with the end goal of you having the best holiday possible. So I hope that helps you out. If you have any further questions, as I say, I will normally try to come back every Monday. Now I feel better. Now I'm not sick anymore. Well... almost not sick anymore. I will normally try to come back here every Monday and answer all your holiday related questions. Just write them to that email address down there. IVE, that's my name, ive@checkedholidays.com. And see you for the next live stream.